Now we would like to invite the children to come forward for our story for all ages. Come along. Or not. Oh. Well, good morning. There's an old joke that says a person who speaks 3 languages is trilingual. A person who speaks 2 languages is bilingual. And a person who speaks 1 language is an American. One of my few regrets from all my years of school is that I took 1 year of Spanish in high school and then dropped it. Well, how many of you speak a language other than English? Well, very good, very good. Some of us can speak 2 languages or 3 languages or many languages. But did you ever wonder why we have all these different languages? Well, the answer is that language is a living thing. Language changes. Over time, pronunciations change. New words come into the language. Old words fall out of use. And when people are living in different places and in different times, their languages start to change in different ways. Now, I'm speaking English, but if you go to England, or if you turn on the BBC, you know that people in England don't sound like me. Mostly that's a case of pronunciation. Sometimes we use different words for the same thing. If you go to England and you order chips, you're going to get French fries. If you want potato chips, you order crisps. But for the most part, American English and British English is close enough that we don't have much trouble communicating. Well, that's not the case with some languages that have been separated for longer periods of time. When the Romans conquered southern and western Europe, they took their Latin language with them, and it became the language of the people who lived there. And then the Roman Empire collapsed, and people stopped traveling, and they literally stopped talking to each other. And so Latin became Italian, but it also became French and Spanish and Portuguese and Romanian. Well, those are the facts, but people oftentimes have trouble relating to facts. People like stories. Stories help people understand things. And a long, long time ago, in the land that we now call the Middle East, people told a story about why we have so many different languages. And the story says that there was this one town that became very rich and very powerful. And so the people came together and they said, let's build a tower to the heavens to show the whole world how great we are. And so they made bricks, and they stacked the bricks up, and they stacked them higher and higher, higher into the sky. Well, the people's God saw what they were doing, and he didn't much like it. Because they weren't building this tower out of need, and they weren't building it as a work of art. They were building this tower out of arrogance. They were building this tower to tell everybody, see how mighty we are. If we can do this, we can do anything. And if we can do anything, we can do anything to you. And so you better do what we say. And so their God sent a lightning bolt, struck the tower, and it crumbled and fell. And he made them all speak different languages. So when they came back together to try to figure out how they were going to rebuild their tower, they couldn't understand each other. And they were saying, why are you babbling? Why are you speaking nonsense? Why aren't you speaking the language we've always spoken in this place? The other people couldn't understand them, and they were saying, why are you babbling? Why are you not speaking my language? And rather than do the hard work of learning each other's languages so they could communicate, they just went their separate ways. And now we have different people in different parts of the world who speak different languages. And that story was meaningful and helpful to these people as they tried to understand why there's so many different languages. But like all good stories, this story has more than one meaning. Yes, it's a story about why there are so many different languages. But it's also a story that warns us that the things we build out of arrogance, the things we build to try to control and dominate other people, won't last. Oh, they may last for a while. They may last so long that people start to think that that's just the way things are supposed to be, and that's the way they always have to be. But sooner or later, the things that we build to control and dominate other people will crumble and fall, just like the Tower of Babel.